Sick of losing matches you should have won? These 5 tips are going to help you out. Hi, Ben from PH Tennis here, and today I'm going to help you all solve a very common problem, and that's very simple: why you aren't winning. We see it and we hear it and we experience it all the time. Good tennis players playing well, but just not winning. Why am I losing? I can't beat that guy. I played terribly today. These sorts of sentences, these sorts of comments that keep cropping up, and it might not be the big mystery you think it is. I'm going to take you through 5 things you can do that might explain why and hopefully help you solve the problem, so you stop losing tennis matches you should win and ultimately maximize your performance and maybe get a slightly better understanding of yourself as you go. There is going to be some brand new stuff here. There's things you will never have heard before. I can guarantee that because they're coming straight out of here. Give it a try. Approach these tips with an open mind. Some of them are a little bit left field, but give it a go. You never know. One of these might mean you never lose a match ever again. World number 1, just round the corner. Let's go. So tip number 1 is very, very simple. When does a tennis match start? I pose this question to players I teach all the time, and the variety of answers is rather alarming. A match doesn't start at Lovell. A match starts whenever you want it to. If you think about elite high performers in any sport, think your Tom Brady's, your Cristiano Ronaldo's, your Roger Federer's, your world number 1s, they are on all the time. Yes, the game, the match might not be happening right now, but in their head, they are fully preparing. They are looking after themselves 24/7 because they are always ready. A good competitor is always ready to play. In a more realistic match play scenario for you guys is, well, does a match start 2 hours before, 3 hours before? Maybe it's the meal you have before the game starts. We see all the time players strolling into a club, having a quick warm up, maybe a little chat, going into the court and then getting really competitive at Lovell. And that just doesn't make sense to me. How can you be doing your best to win but waiting for the last minute to start? The two don't align. So if you feel like maybe your matches, you're not quite playing as well as you should be, don't worry about the match itself, at least not initially. Go back in time, or at least in your next match, start a bit earlier. Think about what you are doing pre-match and for how long for. Are you getting to the game with plenty of time? Are you properly fired up? Have you stretched if you stretch? Have you eaten well? Are you plenty hydrated? All these little things make a difference. When you get to the game and you're at the club and you're waiting for the match to start, the match has already started. You can psych out an opponent, you can drop little pieces of information, you can gather little pieces of information well before the first ball is struck in anger. So make sure you are not waiting for the match to start, but you are starting it in your head. There you go. Tip number 1, start early. So tip number 2 is going to kind of dovetail with number 3 that's coming in a bit. These aren't really going to fit quite as nicely into our top 5s as Joe would like. Apologies, Joe. But here we go. Tip number 2 is try to analyze yourself without judging yourself and your opponent without judging your opponent. Quick story for you all. One of the teams of junior players we coached arrived at a match the other day and saw the opponents were all smaller than them. They'd already decided then, oh, they're little, we're going to win this game. That doesn't make sense. You can analyse your opponents. Oh, they're small. That could be good. It might mean they've got slower serves. It might mean they're not going to cover as much court. But it isn't a judgment. It's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. It's not a win or a loss. It's just a piece of information. So all the time I hear players going, oh, my forehand's rubbish. Oh, God, that guy, he's so good. He never misses. Oh, that so-and-so has got a really bad serve. These little judgments, these bads, these goods, they don't mean anything. They're completely pointless pieces of judgment that is just going to start putting emotional layers into something you just don't want. We want actionable pieces of data and information that you can build a plan from. So, somebody who never misses, is that good? Maybe. Is it bad? Could be. Maybe they never ever take an opportunity to play an attacking shot. We don't want to add good or bad to this. We just want to take that information and go, okay, the person down the other end is a consistent tennis player. Good. The person down the other end plays a lot of slice on their backhand. That is information. Oh, every time they're serving on the ad court, they like to kick it out wide. This is useful. This is actionable. Good or bad, just doesn't help. It makes no difference. Your judgment of it has no impact on them, on you. All it's going to do is create pressure. If you think your opponent is bad and you end up not winning, you're now losing to a worse player. You're going to start sending yourself into a bit of a tailspin. Likewise, if you think you're good, oh, I'm so much better than them, I'm playing so well, the problem there is overconfidence and a big crash down to earth potentially. So, tip number 2, try and keep judgment out of it. Timothy Galway talks about being an umpire, not a commentator. Just say what happened and try and keep your judgments out of it. Number 3, as I said earlier, comes right on the back of playing without judgment, is trying to understand why you are making mistakes, why you are losing the game. We see this all the time. Good tennis players, on paper, better tennis players, maybe someone who's more consistent, got bigger, faster shots, more refined, consistent technique, whatever it might be, but the game is going away from them. And this is the problem. If you keep making judgments and stop looking for information, you're not going to know why you are losing a game. Oh, I'm just playing terribly today is not a reason why you're losing a match. Oh, they're just so much better than me is not a reason why. We have to keep our mind clear. We have to keep our judgments away so we can actually find the reason why. And this is where it gets a little bit left field and why you might have to start delving a little bit deeper into your psyche than initially feels comfortable. I can almost guarantee you that the reason why you're missing is going to be deeply psychological. It might be because you are playing on ego. It might be because you are playing with arrogance or cockiness. It might be because you are just randomly guessing and just hoping for the best. You have got to try and understand what is actually happening. Are you forcing the issue because you kind of just like playing big hard shots and showing off a little bit? So many people do. Keep the ball in the court, you win more matches. We all know this, but it's a very, very hard thing to do because deep down, we all like looking good. We all like hitting the ball hard. We like going close to the lines. But that is a reason why you might not be winning despite being more technically proficient than the person down the other end. Likewise, are you losing because you are scared? Are you losing because you are nervous? Are you losing because you feel like you don't belong? These are all genuine problems that we see day after day after day. You have just got to try and remove all the ego, all the cycle, all the torment that's stuck with you for your years of playing tennis and try and boil it down to the what is happening. My opponent, every time I go into their forehand, is just chipping it back cross court, taking all the pace off, and I hate that, and I'm putting it in the net. Well, the key thing in there is I hate it, is causing you the problem. That is a layer of psychology that just isn't helpful. You've decided that there's a style of tennis you'd like to play, it's not going your way, that's a little bit arrogant to me, and that is what's causing you the issues. So, tip number 3, kind of works together with number 2. Try and take all emotion out and just try and play honest, upfront, with your Tip number 3, kind of like I said, dovetails with number 2. Try and strip away all the unhelpfulness and just try and get right down to the what is happening. Very, very hard to do, but incredibly powerful if and when you learn how to do it. Next up, we are going to start thinking about less being more. And this is a very common solution to very common problems. Getting angry, getting overconfident, getting annoyed, maybe being a bit ego-y, like these sorts of things almost always result in overplaying. Overplaying, missing too many balls. We all know that if you don't miss, you win tennis matches. We say to our players all the time, you have to win a minimum of 48 points to win a tennis match. If you don't make any mistakes, that means the person down the other end of the court is going to have to play 48 winners against you. That is very hard to do, and until that point, you could argue that you've helped them out a little bit. Cut all the errors away, you're more likely to win a match. This is why we say less is more. Oh, really itchy nose. When we say less is more, what we mean is if things are going badly, the instinct for some reason is to do more. Oh, I'm losing, I need to try and be more aggressive, I need to get closer to the lines, hit the ball harder, put it lower over the net. That is so unlikely to be the right solution, and is only the right solution if you are losing every single point because the opponent is hitting winners against you. If that isn't happening, less is going to be a better solution. Not missing is going to make you feel better. Put some height on the ball, put some spin on the ball, back away from the lines, stop being so risky, stop being so crazy, and just settle in and make your opponent prove they are better than you. Less is more. So following straight on the back of less is more, don't be too cautious because winners still go in. It is one of the most mind-blowing things to me in tennis that the one stat that isn't recorded is the amount of balls that land in the court versus the amount of balls that don't. At the end of a match, we get winners and we get unforced errors, but we don't get a ratio. I want to know how many times my ball lands in the court versus how many times it doesn't, because a winner is still in the court. You can hit loads and loads of winners, and that is consistent. And this is the problem we see all the time, is players go, oh, I'm consistent or I'm aggressive. You are 100% allowed to be both. And you could argue that the good players are. You go for your risks when it is sensible, when you have earned the right, when it isn't actually that risky. So a sort of overarching game plan might be to do enough, get the ball in the court, less is more, take no risks until you need to. And then you know that, okay, if I'm just playing too safe and I'm getting a bit passive and my opponent okay, now you can start taking a few risks and going for it a little bit more, but your shots are still landing in the court. It is crazy to me that winners are as this separate, completely, entirely separate statistic that doesn't have anything to do with consistency. They are so intertwined. I would love that stat, because if you don't hit an unforced error for, I don't know, 10, 12 points, you may well have played over 50 shots in a row without missing the court. That is an important statistic, but you'd never know if they were winners each time. You just go, oh, 5 winners, they must be really aggressive. Maybe they're not. Maybe those 5 winners were on the last shot of 10 shot rallies, and actually you're playing very safe, very cautious. So don't be one or the other. Be adaptable, be versatile, and play the right shots at the right time. Number 5, less is more, winners still go in. So there you have it. 5-ish tips-ish that are going to help you win more matches, and more importantly, stop you losing matches you should have won. Remember, the match starts when you want it to, not at love all. Start being a competitor way earlier in the experience. Then make sure you are playing with an open mind. You're not judging yourself, you're not judging your opponent, you're keeping all your emotions out of it, and you're just looking at pure hard facts. Difficult, but doable with enough training. And then lastly, don't fall into these rather basic tropes of being a hacker, a power player, a serve and volleyer. Every tactic has a time, every tactic has a place. Going for big shots isn't necessarily the opposite of keeping the ball in the court. Every winner still goes in. I cannot stress it enough. Be careful, less is more. If you are winning whatever you are doing, keep doing it. If you are losing, try less. If that's still not working, then we can have another conversation. I hope that has helped and you start winning loads more matches, because that's what we're here for, right? If you liked this and you want to hear more, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And apparently there's this thing called a hype now, so hype this video up and you never know, that might be good for us. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.